As news is starting to unravel, we're starting to hear that something fishy is happening with Ram. The brand is going through a major crisis caused by the poor management of Stellantis. It looks like this company is trying to destroy every Chrysler brand. They bring innovations that are not there to innovate but make things worse and turn off buyers from buying Chrysler products, including Ram trucks. So if you want to learn more about these problems, let's find out what in the world is going on at Ram. Ram loses market share. Let's start with the biggest news when it comes to the Ram catastrophe, and that's the loss of market share in the pickup truck market. The sales numbers are significantly down when it comes to Ram. This brand has lost 19.5% of sales the brand previously had in 2023. So if Ram sold 223,049 vehicles in Q1 and Q2 of 2023, for Q1 and Q2 this year, the brand only managed to sell up to 179,526 trucks. This is 19.5% fewer trucks compared to the previous year, or 43,523 fewer trucks sold. These are some hefty numbers that can hurt a brand. Competitor Ford is not doing really well either, with a loss of 8%. But Stellantis has really messed things up with this one. It's highly discussed that Ram will use up to 2% of the overall market share by the end of 2024, and that's a lot of money. Changes need to happen rather quickly, or Ram will go into demise and will become a laughingstock in the truck world, just like Nissan or other smaller brands. A brand that saw the chance to bank hard from Ram's failure is Toyota. Toyota sold more Tundras than ever before, with a 31.3% increase over the previous 2023 model year. GM also had a 3.5% increase over the previous year. These are all unhappy Ram owners who went elsewhere and purchased a different truck than Ram. So the clock is ticking for Ram, and they have to bring changes, and they have to bring them fast, or else the brand will fail. Workers will be laid off, and there will be even less of a possibility of an improvement. Old styling and no major changes. Now, let's cover another major reason why Ram is going through a crisis and doesn't sell very well, which is the lack of changes. Buyers want changes, and these changes should come in regularly in order for the product to be considered as a good purchase. Many of the competitors have introduced new models, but not Ram. Ram models look very dated from a modern perspective. The design didn't age well, and this turns off a lot of the potential owners. Over a couple of years since the introduction of the 5th generation, Ram didn't put any effort into making the Ram truck more modern in any way. The design is pretty much the same from 2018, with minimal changes over the years in the exterior and interior department. This is basically a 6-year-old design that Ram is selling right now, so you get the idea why buyers are simply fed up with the situation. Stellantis held Ram and Dodge as cash cows due to their popularity, and rarely brought any changes to the table. But the time of milking these cows has passed, and the changes they released are no good for today's standards. So in order for Ram to have more sales, they need to come up with a redesign, and this redesign has to come in the following model year. If not, Ram will keep on losing sales, and this would result in some heavy losses for the brand and its image, something that no car enthusiast wants considering the huge legacy that Ram has in the US market. No more Hemi V8. Another in the list of failures of Stellantis is the fact that the company decided to simply stop including V8 engines in the light-duty Ram 1500. Previously, this model had the 5.7-liter Hemi, but not anymore. The V8 Hemi is basically an American icon, one of the first things that you connect with when you hear the names Dodge or Ram. And when you ruin this association, the whole image of the brand falls apart. We understand that this was caused due to the fact that Ram is struggling to meet the emission requirements, but they could have done something to continue this legacy. For example, if the brand introduced a new V8 with an overhead camshaft layout like Ford did with its 5.0-liter Coyote, it would still be able to bring that V8 rumble and still meet these standards. A modern design is equipped with direct injection, variable valve timing, and other technologies that make the engine more efficient. But Stellantis decided to cut the production completely of the 5.7-liter, and this hurt a lot of die-hard Ram enthusiasts. A very bad move is to go against the buyer's wish, and that's exactly what Stellantis has been doing all the time in recent years. They focus on inline turbo engines and electric powertrains, basically breaking down the Ram DNA and going in a different direction. And as you see, this is going to cost them quite a lot since they're losing sales every day and buyers opt to go elsewhere to purchase a new full-size truck. No Ram Rampage. Another failure of Ram is the inability to bring the Ram Rampage to market. This is a model that's been heavily discussed, but as of now, there is zero information on whether or not we will see it being released. For those who don't know, the Rampage was the expected revival of the old Rampage model. This truck should have been a competitor of the Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz, but reportedly, there is no information that Ram is working on this truck at all. Currently, the model is only sold in Brazil, and in order for it to be sold in the US, it needs to be re-engineered and adapted for this market. With Ram ending up in a catastrophe like this, where they lose sales, it is highly unlikely that this project will see the light of day in the near future. Ram Rev gets delayed. Another model that keeps getting delayed is the Ram Rev. The Rev, for those who don't know, is the EV version of the Ram 1500. This model is probably one of the most anticipated vehicles that should be released by Ram, but as of 2024, we're still waiting for the model to be released to the market. Reportedly, the model will be released in Q4 of 2024. This means that this model should come in the near future. However, this is still under question because these EV trucks are not in very high demand. Buyers understood that EVs are bad for towing and payload. Their range depletes quite a lot compared to regular gas-powered trucks. In addition to this, the production version of the Ram Rev is a far cry from the concept that we witnessed. This new truck does not have anything special as the concept. The Rev is simply a Ram 1500 truck with an electric powertrain. Considering this, sales can be equally poor as the F-150 Lightning, but the overall specs of this truck are pretty good and promising. Ram Ramcharger still not available. Another model that keeps getting delayed is the Ram Ramcharger. You might be asking yourself, what is the Ramcharger? Well, this is a model that's reportedly solving all the problems that EVs have. All this is possible with the range extending technology. This truck is basically an EV with a power generator. This power generator is a 3.6-liter Pentastar engine. This V6 runs on low RPM and is not connected to the wheels. It only powers the battery, which then transfers the power to the wheels. This is a very smart approach because this vehicle does not require charging. You just fill it up at the gas station. This truck is an excellent way to get a ton of power while still saving money on fuel, since the engine runs on low RPM and it doesn't waste a lot of gas. But this model is still not yet released to the market. It keeps getting delayed with the latest release date being planned for early 2025. We hope that this truck will really come and will be a real hit since it's an extremely efficient and eco-friendly vehicle. Ram is too expensive. And here we come to the last and probably one of the biggest problems of Ram, which is the price. This brand has built itself a reputation of being a cash-grabbing machine. Stellantis is using Dodge and Ram as milking cows to cover its losses of the other brands they own. This results in a very bad rep for Ram. Buyers are not dumb and start to realize that they end up being ripped off by this company, so they choose something else. Even the tradesman trim is crazy expensive, starting at $40,275. Which is a $1,000 increase over the previous model year. This trim is basically a plain trim with nothing special. Some of them even lack power windows, something that's just sad. A big horn will set you back up to $45,230. If you want to get something nice, like a Laramie for example, you have to spend up to $60,000. The most expensive tungsten starts at $87,320. So overall, you see why Ram is a brand that loses sales. They keep getting more and more expensive.